Hi, James here. In this video today I'm going to show you how to adjust the pitch range on a Technics 1210 Mark II or a 1200 Mark II, because they're both the same. It's just the 1200 is silver and the 1210 is black. About the only difference. So this applies to the 1200s as well. Now, a lot of people I've spoken to have brought these and said they're really disappointed because the pitch range is only plus or minus 8. Okay, not a big issue in my books personally, I don't mind, but a lot of modern turntables have plus or minus 10 and plus or minus 12, and some have even got a wide feature where you can go up to plus or minus 100, but these have only got plus or minus 8. Now, a lot of people have, well actually no, not a lot, but a few people have said to me that they're put off buying these because it's only got plus or minus 8, and I can show you how you can turn that into plus or minus 12 on one of these, or you can make it plus or minus 3. Okay, now why would you want to do that? If you make it plus or minus 3, okay, you've got a bigger movement on the actual pitch fader or the pitch slider. You've got a bigger movement to actually do smaller amounts. So a movement from there to there would normally be like 1%, whereas a movement from there to there would then be 0.5%, because it's a smaller pitch range. Now that's really good if you're going to be sort of like fine tuning when you're beat mixing. It makes it easier to fine tune. Probably not a good idea if you're just starting, because you need to get used to plus or minus 8 or the factory setting, because then if you make it easy for yourself to start with, you know, when it comes to using somebody else's techniques, or if you then go on to another turntables, you're going to find it impossible because you haven't got used to doing it on a wider pitch scale. So probably best to leave that alone. But you know, if you want a wider pitch range, then I'll show you how to do it. You have got to take the plastic cover off from under the platter, so make sure you unplug it before you do it. I'm going to warn you now about unplugging it. And it's quite simple to do, really, so anyone can really do it, and it should help you out if you want a wider pitch range. So I'm going to quickly move the camera and I'll show you what to do. Right, now to start with, obviously unplug it, and then you've got to take the slip mat off and you've got to take the platter off. Now this thing's been on here for quite a while actually, and that one's stuck. And a lot of people have asked me how you get this off if it's stuck, and I'll show you now quickly. Take a piece of wood like this is a drumstick, or the handle of your screwdriver, and all you've got to do is this. Tap the middle and that comes straight off like that. Right, now underneath here, can you see that? No you can't, hold on. Right, under here you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws. Okay, you've got to undo those 5 screws, but not these ones in the middle. Don't touch those ones, and don't touch that. That's really important. Do not touch that. That's the voltage selector, and if you touch that, then basically you'll blow it up when you next plug it in. So that, and that. That's all you've got to touch. So I'll quickly undo these. Bear with me. Right, with a Phillips screwdriver, go around and undo all the screws. Now loosen them all off, but don't actually take them out. Just loosen them and leave them in the holes. And I'll show you why, because it just makes it so much easier to put back together. So go around and loosen all these. Right, now take this off, and because you just leave the screws in, don't bother taking the screws out. And if you leave them in, it'll be easier to put back together. So put that aside. Right, now the bit you're actually after, or the bit you're looking for, is down here. So let me move the camera down and you can get a better look. Right, now the bit down here you're looking for, it's a thing called a potentiometer. It's this blue thing here, and depending on the age of your turntable, if your Technics turntable is really old, this might be a silver one like this one. That one's for the electronic brake. If you go to my video how to adjust the electronic brake, I'll explain what that does. But for now we're concentrating on this one. Okay, it's got pitch written above it. Okay, so look out for that. Right, now what you need to do is, before you actually adjust any of this, you need to mark the factory setting. Okay, so get a magic marker or a marker pen and put a little mark on this blue bit here and a little mark on the circuit board, so you know where to put it back to get it to the factory setting. Right, so if we just take all you need is a small Phillips screwdriver. Just put the small Phillips screwdriver in the top of it there and turn it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it all the way off, like that, all the way down. That makes it ±3, so I'll quickly show you what that does. Right, I've put a tune on now. If you want to know the track title, just look in the description. Alright, now I've got it on the green light, and I purposely picked a tune with a lot of horns and mid-range because you can hear the difference with the pitch a lot easier. Right, if I just bung this tune on, it's going to be loud, so you won't hear me talking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put the pitch up and down so you can hear the difference it makes on the tune. So have a listen. Right, now just bear that in mind. We'll take the platter back off now. Right, now what I'm going to do is take it all the way round to the other side. Okay, so take it all the way clockwise till it stops, and we'll see what difference that makes. And by the way as well, you can just put the platter straight back on without actually putting the plastic bit back on. Just make sure you unplug it while you've actually got that off. Right, now I'll put the tune back on, and this time have a listen and see if you can hear the difference. So you can hear a big difference now. The actual pitch bend is wider. Right, now I've actually put it back to the factory setting now. Now, there's no unit of measurement on here to tell you how much to turn this as opposed to what you're actually getting on the pitch fader. But there is a sort of way that you can sort of, not guess, but sort of work it out generally. Okay, so if you draw your mark where your default setting was, which will be ±8, and you know that turning it all the way around to the end is ±12, then logic tells you that halfway between that mark that we've made and the end position is ±10. Now I have actually tried this on another turntable that is actually set for ±10 anyway. I set this one to what I thought was ±10. I queued up a tune and beat matched it with a tune that was playing on CD, and I got it all matched up. Then I swapped the turntable over with the one that is actually set for ±10 and plugged it all in and queued it up and got it going, and it stayed fairly in beat. It wasn't perfect, but it was almost in beat. So halfway round is about 10, ±10. So set it for halfway between the factory setting and the end position, and that will be ±10. Okay, ±3 obviously is the lowest position. Right, now once you've finished adjusting all of this, it's just a case of putting it all back together now. Now remember I told you to take loosen the screws off, but leave them in the plastic part, and that again, that just makes it easier to put back together. So you can just drop it in place and then just do the screws up. Right, there you go. It's just a case of putting the platter back on now, and your slip mat, and you're done. So there you go. I hope this video has been a help. If you've got any questions or anything in the comments box, I'll try and put as much in the description as I can. If I think you might run into any problems, then I'll put it in there. Okay, thank you for watching. Nice one.